I'll call this meeting to order for the City of Montgomery for February the 24th. It's a regular city meeting today, and thank you, Stan. And if you'll all stand, I'll call it to order, and we'll ask for invocation for Stan, please.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for another day, Father, to serve the citizens of Montgomery. We thank you, Father, for wisdom and knowledge, Father, to do what's right and be fair and just. And we thank you for this beautiful day. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. And I forgot to say that Stan Donaldson is here, Casey Olson, Carol Langley, myself. Sarah Countryman is out on business today, so that we do have a quorum. And now for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, public forum. Do we have anybody to speak? We'll move on to the consent agenda. All consent agendas are considered to be routine to the City Council and will be enacted by a single motion. There will be no separate discussions on these items unless a council member requests an item to be removed or considered separately. What do y'all desire?
Okay, all together.
So, I make a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented.
Okay, the consent agenda was number 4, consider impossible action on the City Council meeting February 10th, 2026. Number 5, consider impossible action on an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Montgomery declaring unopposed candidate in the May 2nd, 2026 City of Montgomery special election to office, canceling the elector, providing a severability clause, and providing an effective date. Number 6, consideration and possible action on authorizing the city administrator to go out for a request for qualification for a construction manager at risk. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Mayor Pro Tem, who seconded that?
Second.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Okay, thank you.
You did? Okay. I didn't hear it either.
Sorry.
Now.
Okay. The next one is presentations, and we are going to pull 7 and 8 due to the fact that I was told to do it.
Yes, the candidate is not able to make the meeting tonight.
The City Council received comments from the public on the below listed items. Speakers will be limited to 3 minutes each. Persons wishing to participate to speak during the public hearing portion of the meeting must sign in to participate prior to the meeting being called to order. Number 9, convened into public hearing on the application of Chesmar Homes for a special use permit to place a temporary construction trailer on a residential lot located at 702 Gundert Court in the Redbird Development known as Briarley. It is 6:03, and we will go into public hearing. It is 6:04, and we're in public hearing. Regular agenda. Number 10, consideration and possible action on the application submitted by Chesmar Homes for a special use permit to place a temporary construction trailer on a residential lot located at 702 Gunner Court in the Redbird Meadows Addition known as Briarley. Do I have any?
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and council members. This agenda item is for a special use permit application. This is the 4th of 5 builders in the Briarley subdivision. They're requesting approval to place a temporary construction trailer on the site. P&Z has recommended approval subject to the same conditions that the other construction trailers that are already on site there at Briarley, similar conditions. And if anyone has any questions?
Any discussion?
How many we got out there now? I mean, gosh.
We'll have four.
Four?
There's 4 builders out, or 5 builders out there. There are 4 construction trailers, 3 currently at their location now. This is for the 4th one.
Do I hear a motion to accept this? Jim?
I make a motion to accept item number 10 as presented.
Thank you.
Second.
Second. I have a first and a second for consideration. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Number 11, consideration of possible action on the partial replat #1 for Moore Estates.
Good evening, council. So I'd like to direct your attention to page 41 of your packet. That will show the proposed plat that is in front of you today. What this is doing is existing Moore Estates consists of 2 lots. What this replat is doing is making it 1 lot with 1 commercial reserve. So we have directed the developer and their surveyor to adjust their line work for lot lines to adhere to all existing requirements as far as building setbacks, visual barriers, etc. And what this will allow them to do is develop that commercial reserve tract, or reserve A, excuse me, on the east side of their property. This was presented to Planning and Zoning and approved at their February 3rd P&Z meeting.
So the lot 1 that is residential now,
Will remain residential. And the lots,
it connects to a commercial piece of property,
correct. So if you look on page 41, you'll see,
which now is all one big piece.
correct.
Correct?
Yes, ma'am. So if you look on page 41 of your packet, you'll see the appropriate building lines and visual areas so that they're properly spacing and providing that visual coverage between the existing residential lot and the future proposed commercial development.
So if I'm buying this piece of property, if it goes up for sale, and I'm buying a piece of commercial with a piece of residential.
Just the lot 1 would be bought if you were purchasing the residential portion. Reserve B, Reserve A, excuse me, as I understand it, will be leased out in the future. We haven't had any plans come to us as far as developing that tract, but that would just be leased out, as I understand it. So you would only be purchasing either the residential or leasing out the commercial. Does that answer your question?
Was it previously residential?
So it is currently residential and commercial. So the zoning didn't change. It's just the lot lines that are for the residential tract and the reserved commercial tract.
So what they did was made the commercial tract bigger,
Yes, essentially.
which actually took in residential property?
No, so the residential property and boundaries didn't change, or rather the zoning configuration of it. Previously it was partial zoning, or partial residential, partial commercial, but the residential and commercial components of it remain the same.
Caleb, I was going to ask you, I thought there used to be a pond on that piece of property.
From my understanding, there isn't, at least today, and that's all we've been provided. So during the permitting process, or not permitting, platting process, they submitted a survey for that. There was no pond on the tract.
Carol, did you think there used to be a pond there?
I don't know if it was on that property or this next piece,
Might have been. Okay, thank you, Caleb. Yeah, it might have been on Thomas's property.
but it's not there anymore.
Correct, if it was on this property.
Right, they closed it, covered it in.
Any more discussion? Can I hear an action on this that y'all would like to make?
I make a motion to accept item 11 as presented.
Okay, Casey, accept that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Stan, seconded. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? passes as added. Number 12, consideration and possible action on approval for a standby letter of credit, Pointe Homes Texas, Inc., for lift station number 5 relocation project.
So just to paint the picture, and I'll defer to legal for their input, but this is in regards to the relocation of lift station number 5 that is a part of the Legacy Grove Tri-Point development. As a part of their development, they were required to fund the relocation of lift station 5, which is currently located on State Highway 105. It is being relocated further inwards towards their development. The plans have been designed and bid, and they were, we did present a recommendation of award at, I believe, back in January. At that time, the developer did request that they come up with or be allowed to provide a payment plan for the proposed project, because it did exceed our previous estimates that we did provide them, so they were not expecting the full amount. The full amount and letter of credit, and I'll hand it over to Daniel, is in the amount of $2,230,491.19.70, excuse me, with a 10% contingency for any additional potential funds.
Any discussion?
You have anything to say, Dan?
I mean, if, all this does, it protects the city of not having to put up any money on there. So the developer is responsible for it, and this is the, it acts as security for them having to deposit funds with the city or to the city for the funding of the project, kind of in stages. So it's having a payment plan with security that doesn't force, it won't force the city to put up the cost for it.
So as required by the development agreement, they are supposed to deposit funds within an escrow agreement that would in turn be paid towards the contractor once they submit payment requests. And so what we're recommending with that is, as we, WJ, receive and review pay estimates, we'll be sending them over to Tri-Point for their review, and then to the city once we've reviewed, and then the check for that payment amount would be cut to the city, and we'll be pulling from that escrow account. We also are requesting that they maintain a minimum $150,000 balance, just in case in the event that there is any delay on their processing time or our review time, that we're not delaying construction of the project. And the developer and their engineer are here if you have any specific questions for them.
Good evening. Brad Sullivan with Tri-Point. So I don't want to argue the additional deposit, but I would like to advocate for no additional deposit. So we've been working with council and the engineering for quite some time, and you know, the project's 100% more than what we originally thought it was going to be with feasibility. The letter of credit is for the full amount plus 10% contingency, and we kind of feel like having an additional $150,000 in escrow is kind of a little over the top, and so we kind of like to advocate for that not to be.
So you're asking for the 150 that we're requesting that you maintain a balance, or an extra 150?
The balance.
So you maintain a balance? Well, so here's the reason why we maintain a balance, because if we don't maintain the balance in there by you, then we got to cut the check. That ain't happening.
I understand 100%. However, the letter of credit covers the full amount. And so.
But if you go bankrupt and run hightail, the letter of credit is worth about what it's written on.
So just as a reminder, the action tonight is authorizing us to have this letter of credit executed, so then we can then execute the contract with AR Turnkey and begin the project.
Are they gonna sign it like this?
As far as
With the deposit being, I mean, with the.
for
account needing to be at that amount?
You can make that as a part of your approval, make the recommendation that, if I'm correct, make the recommendation that they authorize a letter of credit contingent upon deposit and minimum balance of $150,000 within their project escrow.
Because it's not in this.
Correct. It's not in the letter of credit. Correct.
Oh, okay. That was just extra.
Bless you. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Casey, you want to make the motion?
I just want to make sure I understand.
Make sure.
The original 100, so, and maybe I just misunderstood. Are we asking them to have an extra 150,000 over 150,000 or?
A minimum of 150,000. So the letter of credit is in the amount of the 2.3 million, let's call it, and then we're asking within that, so minus the 150 from that minimum balance within their escrow escrow account with the city.
Okay. And that's what you're
Reducing.
not wanting to do. Okay.
So it wouldn't reduce the letter of credit.
No, it would not reduce the letter of
So
credit.
we would have a $2.3 million letter of credit. We would also have 150,000 in this escrow account. We also have an escrow account to pay for engineering services that was at $100,000 the last time we received a ledger, which was November, so it could be a little bit lower now.
So you have an escrow account with the engineer firm?
With the city for engineering services. Yes.
And then also for, okay. I don't think we should do anything else in that.
But that's not in here. We would have to add it.
Yeah.
We would have to add it. So that's a recommendation from you, Caleb, right?
Correct.
To add the 150,000 to this.
Yes, sir. But it shouldn't, again, to Brad's point, it shouldn't change the amount of the letter of credit.
So on the letter of credit, I'm assuming, and maybe I'm wrong, I'm assuming any funds not needed for the project, the letter of credit, you don't have to maintain the letter of credit.
So the way that it's set up is we will pay the bank their fee on the full amount of the letter of credit and reduce it every quarter. That's when they charge us for it, based on what we have paid out. So we won't know until it's time to pay.
I'm just saying, once say the project's $2 million instead of 200, the extra 293,000. This letter of credit does not hold you to pay an extra 293,000, does it?
No, as I understand it, it should.
It's off the project.
Correct.
No, I think we should. We don't know what to do with myself.
Make the motion.
No.
That's not on the agenda, by the way, it's only the letter of credit.
Yeah, but I can amend it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Stan, you have any thoughts?
I think we need to amend it.
Okay. So I make a motion to approve item number 12 for the standby letter of credit with an amendment to add the 150,000 escrow account and to have the 150,000 on deposit. Yeah.
Yeah, total, not an extra.
No, not an extra. Just
Not extra, just total.
Yeah.
I'll second.
We have a motion and we have a second. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Passes with the amendment of the added 150,000 escrows. Number 13, consideration and possible action on the acceptance of public infrastructure for the Lone Star Parkway 12 Waterline Extension Project.
Good evening again. So this project is the Waterline Extension also being completed or funded by, the Tri-Point Development. They were required to extend the existing 12-inch water line that is located on Lone Star Parkway up to their subdivision entrance. They have done that, and the contractor has completed all outstanding punch list items. We walked the site on December 22nd, and all punch list items were complete as of January 27th. And so we are recommending that we enter into the 1-year warranty period for this project, which will be ending on January 27th of 2027.
January
27th of 2027. Included with this is the completed punch list items for the project.
Any discussion?
Make a motion, we accept agenda item number 13 as presented.
I have a first. Do we need a second?
I second.
First and a second. All in favor of number 13 as written, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Number 13 is passed as written. Number 14, considerable and possible action on the variance request regarding the required tree assessment for the Caroline Court, formerly known as Villages of Montgomery Development, number 2502.
So this item is in regards to Caroline Court, again, Villages of Montgomery, which is approximately located across the street. Their variance request is for the required tree assessment that is required with every preliminary plat. So their preliminary plat, or excuse me, their development would require essentially when they submit their preliminary plat, they also have to submit a tree assessment. This tree assessment requires that the developer or their representative take pictures of every existing tree from 4 different angles, provide the condition, height, description, and species of each tree on their development, and they are citing financial hardships to complete said tree assessment. We'll say the property is extremely wooded, and they have quoted a price of $120,000 for that tree assessment, in addition to what they're already having to do for general site development and engineering of the site. And in addition to that, there are being reviewed, and we're making the recommendation rather that we review them against the previous ordinance for landscaping and canopy requirements, which would require them to provide 20% minimum canopy within the total gross area and 12% landscaping of, again, the total gross area of their development.
So can we put forth a different suggestion as far as, can they get us a count of how many trees instead of taking pictures of all?
Yeah, the developer's engineer is also here to speak as well.
And so just a point of clarification, we aren't necessarily wanting to not do the tree assessment because it's a financial hardship, but the way the current ordinance was rewritten is that we're supposed to do this assessment, provide documentation of all these trees, but there's nothing that actually says in the ordinance says, hey, when you propose to remove this tree, when it's this size tree or this number of trees, you have to mitigate by planting X amount. It actually says just provide all the documentation, but there's no replanting, there's no mitigation requirements in the current ordinance at all. So it's a $120,000 tree assessment that doesn't actually benefit or provide any information other than telling you how many trees we're about to remove. There's no requirement for planting, replanting, mitigation at all. So instead of doing a tree assessment that doesn't do anybody any good, it's more of, can we just revert back to the old ordinance that requires mitigation and requires a minimum amount of planting, 2 trees per lot for all residential lots, plus 20% gross area or net area in the residential zone areas, which is really the intent of what they're trying to do. They're not trying to just clear everything and not beautify the project. So.
Okay, in your behalf, I actually read that ordinance 78 for about 3 or 4 pages. And Mr. Hanna even had.
Is this one of our stopgap?
The problem is the interim. We're in the interim with KKC.
Correct.
That's why it's unclear.
And after I've read a lot on it today, I would really, my vote will be that we will definitely grant the variance.
Yeah, we don't want to go through and do the assessment and then just not have a plan.
Extra $120,000 for something that's just
information that doesn't,
Yeah.
it's going to turn this plot submittal into about 200 pages. Correct. He wants to review that.
Nobody and no developer is going to take down a specimen tree because that's just going to lose his value anyway. So after reading that ordinance 78, I definitely vote
Well, I wouldn't go so far to say about no developer taking down a tree, because they'll wipe them all out and come back and plant saplings in a heartbeat, so.
Well, they do, but that, where they're talking about, I don't think that that's even an issue. It's just mostly,
Well, I will say that, I mean, the majority of the trees will come down just because of the topography and the way that the site's positioned. There's a lot of topography on the east side of the hill. The surveyor did, developer did, before even knowing this, Whit had somebody go walk the site, and then he did identify some specimen trees that they would keep. So we've designed kind of like a retaining wall around part of them to where they can kind of keep those. And that's all that their urban tree forester found. So we are going to try to preserve those best we can, but it's kind of impossible to do the rest of it. So.
When you buy this property for investment purposes and building, do you physically actually walk the property? I mean, how do you know there's not a 400-year-old oak tree sitting in the middle of it? You know what I'm saying? Because I have a problem with this tree stuff. I don't quite understand what we're trying to do except keep the greenery going, but
and I'm not the tree expert, I'm just the engineer, and we usually make our job easier to tear down trees, but when the developer seeks the interest, they're actually, I mean, they had our tree forester go walk the site, hire a professional to be able to go identify these areas. So they did that, and they've asked us to reserve them. We'll walk the site in terms of just, design, but we're not necessarily looking for specimen trees and things that we want to get. Usually that's going to be more on the developer side.
it sounds like
So you have that report from the urban?
I don't know if there was a physical report. The only thing I got was identified the group of trees that he said this is, and I was just told this is what I want you to preserve. And I said, okay. But I have not seen a physical report, just a survey with the location of the trees. So.
Is that something that you can do?
Sorry?
Can you preserve those trees?
Yes, from what I've seen today, yes we can. And it is, I kind of gave you the general location of those.
As he's passing that out, we are reviewing their plans currently with a landscaping plan, so we'll be able to show y'all when we come back for a plan approval of the subdivision.
The tension is commercial. Now, I think the only thing that may cut those through is that's right where our sanitary, so the city is bringing sanitary all the way across. They're not that area, so that's the only thing that I think could cut those through. So we may have to reposition the sewer alignment just a little bit, but the rest of it,
So we put that in a variance acceptance that you save those trees that the arborist recommended?
Let me look at one thing real quick. Give me just one moment.
And again, as I was saying, they will be required to submit their landscape plan with their civil plan for review and approval, which y'all will have an opportunity to see and review.
so even if we granted the variance tonight, they still have to submit the landscaping, and we can, at that point, okay.
Correct.
Yeah, this is just a variance of the plat move forward. We still have to, the reviewer or masquerading, which has a planting plan, that would have to come in and get approved to show how we're meeting the older ordinance.
Minimum
to this.
Yeah, minimum canopy requirements.
I'm just going to look to see where those trees are aligned with that sewer extension. Just take a second.
See, all this commercial stuff, it's gonna happen.
I don't think I'm about ready to say anything.
You should.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm very comfortable. Yes, I am.
I just, if they had somebody walk it and they identified some
Right.
trees that should be saved, we should at least take a look at it.
Yeah.
Because if it's just a bunch of scrub, yeah, I get it, right?
Okay.
So this is the alignment. I have to get the developer, see if I can eat into their commercial a little bit more. That's where, that's the only thing, we put a little wall because of this little thing here, and there's a wall, and there's a back. So I'll say repositions. Yeah, for sure. I don't want to.
Right.
Okay. Do I hear a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept the variance request regarding the required tree assessment for Caroline Court, about number 2502.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Carol seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Number 14 passed as written. Thank you. Number 15, consideration and possible action on the Mia Lago Development Agreement, Development 2411. And let me tell you, we just got this a while ago.
Yes, yes. So again, in front of y'all tonight is a development agreement for the Mia Lago tract that is located along Mia Lago Drive. This is directly behind Stewart Creek Elementary, Montgomery Junior High, right?
Junior high.
Yes, junior high.
Junior.
Not Montgomery Elementary.
Elementary.
That's outlined on y'all's agenda packet. Just to kind of give y'all a brief summary of where we are and how we got here. So the feasibility for this project was presented back in September 2024, and the MOU for this project was presented and executed in June of 25. This now is just the development agreement, the next stage of the development process for the developer. As outlined in the development agreement, nothing of substance changed from feasibility to MOU to development agreement. They still require annexation into the city, require confirmation of septic, providing a septic feasibility in the event that a variance is granted to allow them to have septic on their property, as well as impact fees for water, and the requirement that they extend water from the existing dead end on Mia Lago Drive and tie it into an existing line on Lone Star Bend, just northwest of their development. And so that's outlined in your development agreement packet that I handed out earlier. Don't have a page number.
Is it section 3.3 impact fees? Is that where it's at?
No, it would be for attachment C.
What page is that?
Again, of 45 pages, in the realm of 20, page 20, you should see an outline of aerial exhibit showing the existing infrastructure and the tract highlighted.
I personally would like to table this till the next council meeting.
Considering that we got this so late, I don't really see that there's a problem with that, because we just, like I said, we just got it before the meeting started.
Is there anything in the development agreement that is, I don't know, are we making any special exceptions other than the sewage treatment?
No, so that's the only one of note. Again, there is language in there that would protect the city from any potential CCN encroachments. There is what we believe to be a graphical error on what's showing on the PUC's website versus what's actually in place. The developer's engineer can attest to that, and they are working through that with their legal team. But from what we understand of it, and our legal team has reviewed it as well, that shouldn't present any conflict with future service to these tracts. So the only one of note would be the septic variance, which they would have to come back for again once they're ready to submit that.
Daniel, you read this?
Yes, sir.
Did they get a copy of it today?
They already received a copy, and again, excuse the confusion on that. We are working through wee hours of the night to get this on this meeting agenda with the President's Day time jump on staff. We had to get this out a little bit earlier than what we normally would, and we just dropped the ball on sending it out to council prior to. But the developer, their legal team, city staff, and legal have all seen iteration of this copy well before today. And again, do apologize for that.
Did they have any concerns about it? Any questions?
Yeah. So I'll just speak on behalf of the developer. So the developer is looking at getting this hopefully approved and move forward. They want to immediately move forward with the annexation process. They do have a contract with another developer who would actually take this project over, take the development agreement over, and move forward with developing and building. It's K-Hop Danny, and I believe who has the contract, who's currently doing Hills of Town Creek Section 5, so the city. They have no issues. Zach mentioned the CCN thing was really the only thing we were going back and forth with a little bit. This graphical error basically says within the agreement that the city will not provide any services to any buildings within that. So if we don't get it released and there's a building in it, y'all wouldn't provide service. But as long as the building pads are outside of it, then it's fine. We're working with the Blue Topaz, the CCN holder, to just work through them with that, but I don't see any issues. We just still have to come forth with you all to get the variance for the septic. If we do get the variance, I think it's written in there that the city would never be obligated to provide sewer service.
Correct.
Because y'all approved the septic variance, which they understand as well. For the development agreement, for feasibility and all the presentations we've done in the past.
We talked about in the past also.
Yes.
So there's nothing new from what was presented previously in the feasibility, and again, the MOU, what y'all have seen.
Dan, are you still not unhappy with this?
Yeah.
Make a motion.
Our lot sizes,
So they are 3/4 acre. 3/4 acre. The average home price, as we last heard, was 650,000.
650 to 7. Probably.
Yeah. So these are they are presenting a well produced product.
and they have no issue, you're not trying to get a variance for build lines or anything like that?
No variance being requested. Okay. We may do a tree assessment variance.
I don't have any issues with it.
That I think we've been talking about it.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve item number 15 as presented.
I'll second.
I have a first and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
Nay. Okay. Stand opposed. Number 15 passed as presented with one opposition of Mr. Stan Donaldson. Number 16, consideration and possible action authorizing the city administrator to sign the consent encroachment by and between the City of Montgomery and the developer JDS Old Plantersville Road, LLC, development number 2006.
All right, so on this item, this is essentially authorization for the city to execute an encroachment agreement with Briarley Development. This is pretty standard language. Y'all seen a couple of these in recent council meetings. This is essentially just stating if any repairs have to be done to a public facility located within a public utility easement, that any private facilities located within same easement would not be on the responsibility of the city to repair once the repairs of our infrastructure have been made. On page, I believe, my iPad isn't showing color, but on pages 84 and 85, you'll see the proposed improvements that they're recommending within the utility easement, sidewalks and walking paths for their residents, none of substantial note. In the event that we have to do any repairs to the sanitary sewer and storm sewer that are located within those easements, just kind of making it clear as to what's being encroached upon within this agreement. And the developer is here if you have any specific questions for him.
No, it's nothing, no major infrastructure.
Make a motion, we accept agenda item number 16 as presented.
I second.
I have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Number 16 passed as written. Number 17, consideration of possible action on the exceptions of the public infrastructure on Briarley Phase 1B, WSD&P.
Good evening again.
You didn't even get a chance to sit down, did you?
No. Newfound appreciation for Chris. But this item, the last item that I have in front of y'all today is for the acceptance of the public infrastructure, related to Briarley's Phase 1B. This would include sections 3, 4, and 5, or no, I'm sorry, 4, 5, and 6. These are all of the sections just adjacent to Womack Cemetery. Included in your packet, you'll see a land plan on page 111 that shows those 3 tracks. And this is, again, just accepting the water, sanitary, and drainage and paving infrastructure related to those sections within the 1-year warranty. So we'll still have a year to capture any deficiencies that we note within those water lines, sanitary sewer lines, storm lines, or pavement, and can bring those to the attention of the developer, who will then have their contractor make those appropriate repairs. And this would be scheduled to end on February 4th, 2027.
Any discussion?
24th, I'm sorry, 24th.
24th?
Yeah, there's a typo in our certificate of acceptance. That should be February 24th.
Next year.
Do we need to,
Amend, just to clarify that the 1-year warranty will end on February 24th of 2027. And we can send out that updated certificate of acceptance for y'all's record as well.
Can I hear a motion?
I make a motion to accept item number 17 with the amendment to clarify that the warranty will end on February 24th, 2027.
Second.
I have a second from Stan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Number 17, motion is carried. Council inquiry. Pursuant to Texas Government Code, Section 551.042, the mayor and city council members may inquire about a subject not specifically listed on this agenda. Responsibilities are limited to the recitation of the existing policy or a statement of specific factual information given in response to the inquiry. Any deliberation or decision shall be limited to a proposal to place on the agenda for a future meeting. Any?
So I was expecting to see the one-way street from MEDC meeting.
Yes, we're going to bring it in the next meeting. We had to get a little more design idea because we were talking about, coming back the other way. So we wanted to make a real clear picture of what that would look like.
Okay. What is that, McGowan or?
Yeah, McGowan.
It can be both because
McGowan and
McGowan one and Prairie the other. Yeah.
Maiden.
Is it Maiden?
Maiden back the other way to create kind of a loop through there. We're trying to get all that on a map so we can explain it better.
So, you gotta bring it up.
Yeah, so I was just expecting to see it tonight, but if they're working on it still, then no problem.
Any other inquiries? Stan?
No.
Carol?
No, ma'am.
The other inquiry is about, did we need to see anything from the signs? The expenditures for the signs?
No, you've already approved wayfinding.
Okay.
You will be seeing, for those of you who don't know, on I call it the Raven Fullen House, the EDC approved doing that project. So that house, the readings and everything will be coming to the council. You'll be doing that over the next few meetings to move that across. So that's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting. That house was built in the 1800s, so that's very exciting that we're going to be able to acquire that house.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Good. It's in good shape too, so that's nice.
It is, it's in good shape. Okay, so we don't have any items for replacement on the future agenda. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Have a motion, and all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, no. Meeting is adjourned, and it is 6:43.
Let's see.
All right, see you around.
Multiple times, whatever, but just.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Good to see you.